What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rides and Customs. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Pappy's Tutorials. We're in the first episode. I have chosen to take this Revell 32 Ford 3-window coupe and chop it. And in the first video of it, we showed you how much we chopped out of it. I had a great response and a lot of questions popped up, so I'm going to try to cover those topics that everyone asked in regards to what I used as far as glues and things like that to achieve where I'm at right now. There was also some questions about the kit glass, whether or not I'll be using it or not. So we'll cover that as well. Great questions. Really do appreciate those questions, and we're going to cover that here in this episode. But this is actually the instructions from the Revell kit, and you can see how tall this old coupe. This is a great kit. I built it one other time, and really did enjoy it. But I have bought over the years and built this kit three or four times, and with doing so, I always used a aftermarket resin body, and I'll be showing you that, and I'll be showing you the one also that where we're at on with this kit body. Why did I want to elect to use the kit body opposed to the copy or the resin body? The resin body that I had, which was an aftermarket, it was really rough in the casting, and I'll show y'all that as far as in the finish. I know how to get around that as far as with resin, you have to pretty much, sand the body thoroughly, but you start losing the mold lines from the originality of the original kit. But I'm going to show y'all what I did with mine versus that right there. But let's pull this out of the way, and I'm gonna bring out the resin copy body that I had. And this one right here, it's a great copy. It's an actual copy of the original body that we took from the kit itself. But I'm going to show you some things that I did differently in regards to what I did differently. We talked about earlier, if you notice right here, there's a kind of a mold line, which there's a lot of flash right here, which would have to be removed off that. But this mold line right here, I trimmed out of my body that I did. So I actually took a number 11 X-Acto knife, turned the blade around backwards, and described that out till it just popped right out. And then we took this is after the fact that we got it everything glued in. But that was one of the things. Another thing that I was talking about earlier was, I don't know, it's hard to tell right here with the camera, but there was some rough finishes as far as there's roughness right here. Nothing that, when you're cleaning the body up, you would have to, start out sanding it to get that smooth texture back to the finish itself. So didn't really want to spend the time of doing that. The other thing that I wanted to change was this third hinge location right here. The original kit does have it when it's a tall unchopped version, but it was in this right here, and I just wanted to eliminate that right there. So I just went ahead and did that. Another thing that I eliminated was with this, there's also another molding line for like a trim line. That is in the resin copy. I wanted that to be as smooth as possible right there, and with my version. But other than that, this is a great copy. I'm not knocking it by any means. I've used several of these particular resin bodies before and had great success with it. But I just wanted something that I knew that, number one, it was going to fit the frame and the fenders and everything, because I'm going to use the entire kit. I'm going to use the fenders and all, the running boards, the hood, and as well as the front grille. So we'll set that to the side. Now let's get on to what I've done with mine. One of the questions, and this is mine. You're looking at two different versions. The one thing that I really wanted to incorporate with my chop top was, number one, of course, opening this window up a little bit more by removing that trim. And you can see how smooth that is. And it actually smooths up that window frame right there. And everything has been glued in. We'll show you the front window. And that front window is just, check that out. Man, that thing is just low and mean. Man, that is a true chop top to me. And same thing over here on the passenger side. We removed that trim, brought it all around. And this molding line right in here, was able to get that detail put back in there, got it all smoothed in and blended in. You might be able to see some of the areas where I did, you can see maybe the cut line, but after some putty work and everything, that has gone away. I like this window style a little bit more. It's kind of an oval shape versus that right there. And it looks, I don't know, it's just a different look and a different style to me altogether. Now here you'll be able to see, and you can see the difference in the contrast of how much I had to stretch this the top out. This right here, I started out with one thin sheet of I think it was 1/16 thick styrene sheet. We tried that first, and once I got the B pillars into position, and we had this already glued on to the back section, I slid the front section and tried to line up the A pillars, and they were still pushed back a little bit. So I had to take another extra thickness of 1/16 sheet styrene and add that in there so that you can see how thick that particular section is right there. So there's two sections of 1/16, which is 16th and a 16th, if I ain't mistaken, is right at an 1/8. So there's about an 1/8 of an inch that I had to add right there to get the B pillars, once they're glued in spot, and the A pillars to line up with themselves without having to change anything else. Once we got everything, now one of the questions in the comments were, what kind of glue did I use to get everything glued in? This is raw styrene, and the glues that I used was the Tamiya orange top and the Tamiya extra thin. Now, what I like to do is wherever I'm joining styrene to styrene, I just put a thin layer across the B pillar. And when I was gluing this up, the first thing I did while the hood was still off of the car, was I cut the two sheets, laid and glued them on, this way to that, and then glued, put a good thick layer between the next sheet and laminated it together. Then I brought the two pieces together, joined them, let them dry overnight. Once they were dried, I took one of the big hobby knives, one of these big, and we just started trimming all that down. Because you remember in the first episode, that was about a good half-inch tall sheet of 16th inch thick styrene. So once we got all that laminated together, we daubed this up really good, got everything joined in. We let it dry overnight. Then we trimmed as much as we could down to the very surface of the roof line itself. Now, I also said in the first episode that doing a chop top is not for the for the weak of heart. Will you make a mistake? Sure. Even I made a mistake, and I'll tell y'all what I did in just in a minute. Once we got everything glued up, we got that kind of smoothed down to where it was almost to the surface of the roof. I came in here with my Dremel and with several different tools. As a matter of fact, this was what I used to kind of smooth and bring that roof line down. This was what I used to kind of grind around in the corners and stuff. And there were several other bits that I used to get that down. With some of you are going to cringe with what I use, but it works. I use a vast assortment of different tools. This is looks like a deburring tool, but it's a blunt edge right here, and this will really take a lot of product out. So I chucked that into my Dremel, and we just kind of hogged that out right in there and got that pretty much well down to the bottom. And then we took sandpaper and this little round over tool right here and kind of hollowed that out down to there. And that's pretty smooth for me. I'll take some sandpaper and clean that up on the inside here soon. And that'll look just like brand new. Now, in regards to what I use to smooth this top down, I chucked this into my Dremel and just barely went over the top of that, just to where I didn't want to, grind into any of the surface. But we got that down to where I was comfortable with where it was. I would be able to smooth that out. Now, I talked about a mistake earlier. What I did was when I chucked this into my Dremel kind of hit right in the top of right here and kind of left some indentions. Well, when that happens, the best thing you can do is just add some filler putty, and that's what I've done right there. Now those blemishes are gone. Once we applied this to the roof line, just a little tip, and it works for me. Extra thin, once it's been the extra thin green right here is always, I like to use it as a kicker on this stuff. Soon as you've let it set for a few minutes and it's got good and tacky, put your two pieces together and then just apply a thin bead of that right quick, and it will, it seems like it kicks it to me, but y'all try it out, let me know. But it works sometimes a lot for me in places like this. Once we got everything was dry. It's a process now, but the payoff is in the way it looks right here. Everything we started taking just various sanding sponges. I'm starting to get a cluttered desk right here. Let me move some of this out of the way. I use the 3M. I get this automotive grade stuff from most of your not car detailing, but like AutoZone, places like that. O'Reilly's, they sell this stuff in the body section of their stores, and I think this is 320 grit. I'll incorporate that with some of these little small 3M pads that I just use. I cut them up pretty small. Then we just we fold it over like that where I've got that, and then we just start massaging that roof line in to where it's just perfectly smooth and across there. Now, as far as the detail right here with the trim line right here, I just blend all that in with a hobby knife, some files, things like that. I even incorporated my new Display sanding tool. We brought a lot of this detail out with the sanding, with that new sander that I've got, and was able to bring that detail back with that. And then taking scribers that we use. I use a lot of different. I'm a tool guy. I love my tools. This is the one of the little saws that I like to bring in body lines and stuff like that. It's got a smooth small tooth and a large tooth right there. That helps bring in a lot of those body lines back into play right there. Then once everything is sort of blended in, it's just a matter of taking a lot of your sanding pads. These are the Tamiya sanding pads right here. I think this is 1,000 grit. That starts bringing that smoothness back to the finish itself. I'll even take these sanding, these right here, and we'll go down through there and start really defining a lot of those, that body line. As far as the door openings right in there, we go back and resort to our, this is after the fact that I've already puttied everything up. Everything's smoothing the putty down. I got putty in these cracks as far as the door opening. It's just a matter of putting my magnifiers on and just kind of dragging that open and just getting that cut back in and cut back out. Then once we get all that picked out, we just take and clean it up with the edges like that, and then we're golden. But overall, this is a success. I'm really proud of how this turned out. It's gonna be a beautiful build here, but you know, putting these two together, I mean, you put them, you know, side by side, they're carbon copies of each other minus a few minor details. We talked about taking the third hinge off up here, which you see there's the third hinge up right on that right there. I was talking about also earlier on this resin copy. See, there's kind of like a blemish right there. I mean, it's just a hump of resin. I would have had to sand that out. A lot of detail I may have lost, you know, somewhere in there. But, you know, being a model builder, that's part of the, you know, that's part of it. You have to, anytime you get like a resin body, there's a lot of work, some work, a lot of whatever involved in, you know, bringing that to life. But overall, this right here, I'm looking forward to really getting this one on the bench and getting it started. So, with that being said, I hope this has cleared up a lot of the questions. I know one of the questions that was dropped in there was, what am I going to do about the windows for this? Will I be using the kit windows? No, I will not. I use the clear sheet of acetate that you can get from like any hobby shop. Hobby Lobby carries it, but it's just a sheet of clear acetate. And what I'll do is I'll take a piece of tape and tape it in here and trace an outline of the of that rear front window as well as that rear window right there. Once we get it traced out, I'll peel the tape off, put that on the acetate and cut it out on the clear acetate, and then we'll glue that in there closer to the final assembly once everything's been painted up. I know there's a chrome trim in the original kit. You might could incorporate that. I've seen my good friend Tom White, Old Rambler 69. He's done that several times on a lot of the builds that he's done with these, and it's a beast to try to get that thing to fit. But that's another reason why I like to smooth this down right in here and then get that as smooth as possible. That way I'll eliminate that trim ring right there. But it is a awesome part of this build if you're trying to achieve a really good looking street rod like that with utilizing all the original trim and everything. That would be it's just something I don't want to use right now. So anyhow, well, I hope this finds everyone well, and hope this has helped out. Be following the build along with this once I start getting this on the bench. And also, if y'all aren't, I'm going to be in this build right here. We're going to be using some of the MCV products that I've purchased from Matt over at MCV Products. These are some of the wheels. This is the wheels that I picked up at the show. They're the wire wheels that oh my gosh, these things are so. I took them apart off the bill frets this week, and just kind of mocked them up with this. And I tell you what, that is going to be a tough looking. I mean, you get that thing up in there and them fender wells, man, it's going to look good. But these are the rears right here of the wire wheels that comes in that. He sends out, when you purchase these wheels, you'll have a choice of two different center caps. These are the V8 center caps, and you get some, it looks like a little cone. I don't know how to explain them, but I like these a lot better. These are more, look a lot better. My intended path on the car is to be a totally black car with red interior. The center caps right here, and I tell you what, we'll take these apart right quick. The center caps are going to be, well, they wanted to fall apart a while ago. Now I can't get them to fall apart on camera. There we go. These are, this is how, when you're building these wheels, this is what you get right here. Let me get that band out. That is a complete wheel and tire setup right there. So you get a tire, you get this beautiful, look at the detail on those wire spokes, just awesome. Then you get your choice of two different center caps and then this band right here. So of course, we'll go with the rubber black on these tires. This assembly here will be red because I always like to incorporate something on the outside. Also on the interior color. So the interior color is going to be red. These tires, or these wheels will be, the spokes will be red. This trim ring right here will be the Revell chrome, as well as the center cap right here. So Anywho, that pretty much well wraps up it. If y'all got any questions or anything, drop me a message down below. I'll answer it as quickly as I can. As I always say, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.